Are we truly evolving, or are we just building taller cages? From artificial intelligence to instant global communication, humanity seems to be on an unstoppable march forward. Every headline celebrates breakthroughs, quantum computers that can solve problems once thought impossible, billionaires launching rockets into space, algorithms predicting diseases before symptoms even appear. To many, this looks like undeniable progress, proof that humanity is advancing. But beneath the dazzling surface, shadows grow longer. Our mental health is in crisis. Ecosystems collapse at unprecedented rates. Social bonds fragment into polarized echo chambers. The paradox stares us in the face. Could our celebrated progress actually be concealing an approaching collapse? Today, we embark on a thought-provoking journey into the paradox of progress, drawing on the insights of philosophers Martin Heidegger and Oswald Spengler. We will question whether humanity's advancements signify true evolution, or whether they mask unforeseen dangers that might undo us. By the end, I won't give you easy answers. Instead, I'll leave you with a challenge to rethink what progress means and what it might take to shape a truly evolved humanity. Let's begin with what seems obvious. Human progress is real, measurable, and unstoppable. In just the last decade, we've witnessed artificial intelligence leap from a theoretical curiosity into a force reshaping industries, creativity, even warfare. Quantum computing promises to upend encryption and revolutionize science. Space tourism has moved from science fiction to billionaires' playground. For the average citizen, the phone in your pocket is more powerful than the computers that sent astronauts to the moon. At first glance, it feels as though humanity is racing forward along a straight road, each step taking us further into a brighter, more advanced future. This is the myth of unilinear progress, the idea that civilization naturally evolves upward from primitive beginnings to ever higher levels of sophistication. But let's pause. Do these astonishing tools automatically make us more evolved beings? Or are we, as Heidegger would warn, merely building more sophisticated instruments while losing sight of the essence of our humanity? Heidegger reminds us in The Question Concerning Technology that technology is never just neutral. Every new tool shapes not only how we act, but also how we think. It subtly frames reality itself. When everything becomes viewed through the lens of efficiency, productivity, and utility, humanity risks being trapped in what he calls enframing, a mindset where we reduce the world, and even ourselves, into mere resources. Progress, then, becomes a glittering cage, higher walls, smoother bars, but still a cage. Here, Spengler's historical warning also cuts deep. In The Decline of the West, he argued that civilizations don't advance forever. They rise, peak, and inevitably decline, not unlike living organisms. What looks like progress today might simply be the flowering peak before the withering begins. Our skyscrapers, digital networks, and rockets may be less signs of infinite growth than symptoms of a culture burning brightest before its fall. So the first unsettling question arises: is our age of miracles truly evolution, or just a sophisticated form of tool-making at the twilight of a civilization? Progress always comes with a price. The higher we climb, the more fragile the structure becomes. Despite unprecedented material wealth, humanity faces a global mental health crisis. Rates of anxiety, depression, and loneliness soar, especially in the very societies that boast the most technological sophistication. How can we call this progress if the supposed beneficiaries are more miserable than before? At the same time, environmental catastrophe unfolds. We mine the earth for rare metals to build smartphones and electric cars, only to devastate the very ecosystems that sustain life. Our factories and consumption fuel climate change, threatening coastlines, food supplies, and entire species. The paradox here is chilling. The very engines of so-called progress accelerate the destruction of our habitat. Then there's the digital world, sold to us as a tool of connection. And yet, what do we find? Echo chambers, polarization, and societal fragmentation. Algorithms designed to maximize engagement create tribes that shout past each other, making dialogue nearly impossible. Our global village has in many ways become a battlefield of isolated silos. Nietzsche once warned that man could be destroyed by his own comforts, becoming weaker while technology grows stronger. What we see now is the fulfillment of that warning. The more connected we become digitally, the more disconnected we become socially, spiritually, and emotionally. So I ask again, if our so-called progress leaves us more anxious, more divided, and more at risk of ecological collapse, is it truly progress at all? One might argue, yes, but humanity has always adapted to challenges. We survived ice ages, plagues, and wars. Surely we will adapt again. But here lies the paradox. Our adaptive capacity is no longer tested primarily by nature, but by our own creations. Take medicine. We have eradicated diseases, extended lifespans, and developed miracle cures. Yet nature pushes back. Superbugs resistant to antibiotics now threaten to undo a century of medical progress. New pandemics arise, some, like COVID-19, amplified precisely by our interconnected global society. For every leap forward, vulnerabilities multiply. Or consider technology itself. Automation and AI can perform tasks once requiring human mastery. While this promises efficiency, it raises a haunting question. Are we evolving into more capable beings, or are we de-skilling ourselves? When navigation apps think for us, when machines design for us, when algorithms even choose our entertainment, are we sharpening the human spirit or dulling it? Spengler would not be surprised. He described late civilizations as marked by increasing reliance on vast systems, technical, bureaucratic, financial, that give the illusion of control, but mask a loss of vitality. Cultures in decline, he argued, become civilizations obsessed with management and machinery. Is that not precisely our condition? Perhaps we are not evolving, but outsourcing our very capacities to tools we cannot either fully control nor fully understand. If progress cannot simply be measured in gadgets and GDP, then what does it mean to truly evolve? Here, we must challenge the dominant narrative. Evolution in the 21st century may require us to cultivate not faster technologies, but deeper capacities of the human spirit. Emotional intelligence, empathy, sustainable living, wisdom. Consider communities that reject endless consumption in favor of simpler, more sustainable ways of life. or movements emphasizing mental health, mindfulness, and emotional well-being as forms of progress. These examples show that not all advancement requires a microchip. Heidegger's warning becomes crucial here. Technology will dominate us if we never step back to question it. But if we use technology consciously, not as masters, but as partners, then perhaps we can redirect progress toward what truly matters. A redefined vision of evolution would ask, what kind of human being do we want to become by 2050? Do we want to be creatures of convenience, endlessly entertained but spiritually hollow? Or do we want to be beings of depth, capable of empathy, resilience, and harmony with the natural world? The paradox of progress is not a dead end. It is a call to conscious action. Yes, our advancements carry risks, but they also carry possibilities. The difference will depend on whether we sleepwalk into the future or awaken to our responsibility. This means supporting ethical technology, questioning not just what can be built, but what should be built. It means fostering community in an age of fragmentation, resisting the pull of echo chambers. It means sustainability, recognizing that the Earth is not an infinite resource, but the fragile home of all life. Spengler may have warned that civilizations are doomed to decline, but he also reminded us that how individuals and cultures face decline matters. Even if collapse is inevitable, the dignity with which we meet it or resist it can shape our legacy. Perhaps true evolution lies not in denying collapse, but in consciously shaping the path through it toward renewal rather than despair. So we return to our opening question. Is humanity progressing or collapsing? The uncomfortable truth may be that both are happening simultaneously. Our tools grow sharper, our systems more complex, but our foundations grow weaker, our connections thinner. Progress and collapse may not be opposites, but intertwined forces, dancing together in the paradox of history. Heidegger warns us that without reflection, technology will consume us. Spengler reminds us that civilizations are mortal, and that what feels like endless ascent may be the crest of decline. And yet, the choice is not entirely out of our hands. We can choose to redefine progress, not as the accumulation of tools, but as the cultivation of wisdom, empathy, and resilience. So I leave you with this final question. What role will you play in shaping the future? Will you be a passive passenger on the ship of progress, or an active participant in guiding humanity toward a truer form of evolution? The paradox of progress demands more than admiration or fear. It demands conscious engagement. And perhaps, just perhaps, in that awareness lies the hope that humanity can evolve not just technologically, but spiritually, not just upward, but inward.